Rest position setup wise again, fine. Club going back, we said was going in like a little bit lower and a bit flatter. We want that club to be a little bit higher if we can. So your left arm is certainly a little bit more up over your shoulder there, just a bit higher. It's a longer back to be fair as well, because the club's gone back a little bit higher that way. Okay, now as you come back down, a point you get to, okay, as the club starts coming here now, at about the point where the club gets just above your hand there. So that club we can see, it's a little blurry, but the club is kind of back here on your right leg, okay. As this one starts coming down, okay, at that point, the club now you can see is slightly more in front of your leg. So the club now is more in front of you, okay. Now what you then do from the frame to frame there, here the club gets through to a really good position, but what you get here now is the flick of the hands now starting to sort of, the club now catches up a lot more to get back to the same position. But how you've done that is more about at the last second to try and almost catch up with the hands. But that excessive hand action is going to exactly, yeah. So if you fast twitch five and your hands are doing this all the time to try and catch the club face up, and you get the golf club back to there, sometimes that might be quite a good shot. But like we look on this one, and as we come into it, it's a little bit kind of off the heel there, not really good at contact. Because obviously, if your right wrist, this is obviously exaggerated, if that was the ball there, if I'm here now and my club's too far inside, and then I catch up to get the club's working too far this way. So you're going to be a little bit heely towards that part of the club, okay? If the club's working back down, it's more in front of you anyway, and the club then continues to work the golf ball, it's a lot easier to catch the middle part of the club. Now what you then did when you first started making this change to bring the club back down, because this motion causes the club to sort of swing out too far to the right and thus potentially catch the heel, and this way you adjusted by bringing your arms in and around to compensate. So it's like a path issue, a hand issue, and trying to pull in to compensate to find the sweet spot. Now doing that at 80 mile an hour, you're going to get 1 or 2 sweet spots out of 10, 4 or 5 not so, 4 or 5 bad ones, okay? If we can just get it here now, the club gets back in front from there now, just, okay, right, no compensation required, just get the club there and just, okay, hit the golf ball, makes it a lot easier, see, and that's what we're trying to do. From someone of your standard there, see, who plays as little as you do, you said in the, obviously, winter now with football season starting, we need your swing to be less compensatory than possible, okay? If we can get it from here, back in front from there, you've got a chance to hit the golf ball. If your golf club is coming in from here, you go and try to do that to hit the golf ball. And when you're playing 3 or 4 games a week, maybe you get reasonably good at it, and after sort of 3 or 4 consistent rounds in a row, you get a good score. But it takes you sort of 2 or 3 games to sort of find that motion, doesn't it? Okay.
I'd rather get something that's more.
Well, it's easier, isn't it? It's a lot easier to play golf. And if the club can be more in front, so this angle of the club coming down, as we can see, if you look at the contact here now, look at those 2 contacts. I know the left hand one's a little bit blurry, but you can hopefully sort of see kind of where the shaft is in relation to the golf ball. The shaft's kind of in the golf ball there, and it's all right at the heel of the club, where that one, you've got a good bit of gap there between the heel and the middle of the golf ball there. So you've actually more towards a sweet spot there, a much more in front position. The club can now work much more back in front of you, rather than from this one sort of coming to on the inside, and your hands are trying to flick the club, and the club trying to twist over at the last second and catch the club. Now you can see a lot straighter. That's a bit blurry, that one, okay? There's a little bit more sort of rotation there where your hands are trying to sort of square the club face up, just because the club's come too far from here. If you time it correctly, yeah, nice shot. Mistime it, you block. And what you'll find most days, you'll find one day you're playing it all to the right every time. You can't get your hands to square the club face up enough. Then the next time you play golf, you go right the right last time I play golf, okay. More hands. You're just doing.
I've got the ability to pull.
Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't know when it's going to come in.
Before, and I did try and get out of the habit. I was drawing the ball excessively.
Yeah, big hooks and stuff.
Yeah, and then you get a really bad hook. So I have sort of tried to get away with that.
Yeah.
Get away from that.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I have,
Yeah.
sort of.
You made a compensation to stop it. Yeah, exactly. You sort of held the club on the inside, push it out to this way, and yeah, it kind of works. But say it takes you probably 3 or 4 games to find your timing on the range. It's probably 4 or 5 swings to find a good shot. So the club from the top a little bit higher on the way back, and then.
I don't swing as far back as what I thought.
Oh God, no, exactly. That's fine. I mean, you don't need to. You're not going to be someone who's short hitter, are you? I mean, you're not going to lose distance. And where you go back to this position at the top here now, you're not short. It's where that left arm goes. You will go a little bit more when your left arm gets high because you've got more space to go. Okay, once the left arm gets a bit higher and the club can work back down in front, get that club in front of you now on the way down, you've got a chance to sort of make contact. So from there, that's more in front there. And up and then relax. This club's got to kind of work. This sort of sensation, the club's kind of doing that way rather than exactly. Yeah. So your hands and arms are square on that club face up rather than sort of dropping it too far behind you, okay?